Hello everyone, Mike Flanagan with Matt Turek here. We're bringing you the round 7 through 10. We're going to have a 7 seed against the 10 seed and the 8 seed against the 9 seed, down on lanes 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 here at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open, Matt. These guys have battled it out and should be some pretty good matches.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good matches. The end of that second round was really exciting as the bottom half, the bubble players, were really shifting positions around quite a bit. So it's going to be really interesting to see what exactly happens here in this 7 through 10.
7 through 10 round is what it is. We see it here at the Fusion, and we're going to take you down to the lanes now. The guys are ready to go. And here they go. I'll introduce the players here. See Stephen Taylor. Stephen Taylor is your 9 seed. He is bowling Chad Maas on lanes 5 and 6. Steve resides in Deer Creek, Illinois. Came all the way from Illinois to come on out here today. Take a look at Steve's game. And Tony Manna got up there for us there. Tony Manna, your 10 seed, Omaha, Nebraska. Tony Manna was a great collegiate player some time ago. Averaged over 260 in the collegiate match games tournament in the St. Louis area. Broke Chris Barnes's record number in that event. Tony Manna taking on Brent Ritchie from Madison, Wisconsin on lanes 3 and 4. Remember, the winner of each one of these matches will then flip-flop to the other lane, and the highest seed left will bowl the 6th seed, which would be Tom Hess, otherwise known as Thus. And then the higher seed left will bowl the 5th seed, who is Marc Heninger, on the opposite pair of what they won this match on. So get a look now here at Brent Ritchie. He qualified as your 7th seed. Qualifying numbers here. It took plus 99 for 13 games to make it in on this demanding 1.98 to 1 oil pattern ratio. 41 feet in length. Almost 30 milliliters of oil, just over 29. Oh, Chad Maas hard and straight at the spare and chops off the 3 from the 6. Now here's Ritchie. Ritchie, okay. Oh, that's okay. All right, Tony Oliva up here joining us in the booth, hanging out. We've had a great crowd all week.
We really have.
180 bowlers, sold out field. Great shot by Chad Maas. And it would be not right if I didn't take a moment to thank all the sponsors that we have here at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. We have none other than our 2 title sponsors, co-title sponsors, Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank, working together in this area to help provide homes for many, many people and funding. I want to thank Ebonite International, makers of the Warrior, the Game Breaker 2, the Adrenaline Shot, the Maxims, the Cyclones, all the great balls that Ebonite makes. We thank you, Ebonite, for your dedication to bowling and sponsoring the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. Also, the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, Matt.
That's one of my new favorite companies. They got a great website, visitwaterloo.com. Check it out. They make Waterloo look like L.A.
Tony Manna comes in high for the 4. Early on in both matches. Could go either way. Also want to thank the Kingpin Bar Grill donating 10% of all the lineage here this weekend. I'm sorry, the proceeds, 10% of their profits.
Which is still, that's quite a bit. That's
it's
awesome.
inside Maple Lanes, which they're giving a discount on lineage, is where I jumped ahead. Members Mortgage Services, we want to thank them, as well as Logo Infusion. Don't forget you can use that coupon code this weekend, GIBA15 to save 10%.
Stevens now stepping up in the on lane 5.
Crosses over.
Chad stepping up on lane 6. He started out with an open. He chopped that double pin spare, and he's answered back with a strike. Let's see what he can do here. Clutch double will be nice. Crosses over, carries the 9. I think he got away with that one.
Yeah, these pairs are pretty tough. This lane pattern, we saw the cut score from game 4 to 5 go from 100 to 77, which can tell you just what can happen in just a couple of frames and a game. I mean, they have been really, really tough. This oil pattern, very, very demanding. Ritchie through the face now, so he goes 8 spare, 9 spare, 8 count. His opponent 7 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, and Tony Manna. Now here's Chad Maas on 5. That's a good shot. Now that's a triple.
Yeah.
So Chad, he chopped the 3-6.
Yeah, but he got a lucky break
and
there.
He comes
in the third,
back and he gets the triples.
He takes advantage of it. And that's how you win. That's how you win matches.
This has been an absolute grind. Both players on 3 and 4 are clean through 3 frames. Steven Taylor, 9 spare strike, but he sees a triple staring at him, so it's going to be important for Taylor to go up and make a good shot, hit the 1-3, and hopefully get a double and make this thing a match.
Brent Ritchie playing off the left corner.
He is really deep. Oh, did you see that 8-pin? Where's the replay when you need it?
Oh, man. I think we'd miss Steven's shot.
I'm sure we would. 2 matches at once is always a treat.
Boy, 5 and 6 must be flying.
Crosses over for the 6. Maple Lanes has made a lot of improvements to their bowling center the last couple of years. Every time we come here, it seems like there's something new.
Yeah, there is. This year, it seems to be the masking units, and they're looking good. They're
and
good
scoring. They're halfway through the masking units.
Well, yeah. And the scoring was here last Fusion.
Okay, I missed that one.
Tony
Manna, another good shot.
Yeah, just not enough on the messenger.
Tony from Omaha, Nebraska. Nebraska, Illinois, and Wisconsin represented out of these 4 players, both Ritchie and Maas from Wisconsin.
I know we had some Wisconsin fans in the chat earlier. I wonder if they're sticking around to watch.
Maas is from Ouachita, and Ritchie's from Madison.
Madison's a good city. Tony covers the spare.
So right now we look at the scoreboard with Steven Taylor stepping up. He has 59 in the third with a spare up in the 4th. Chad Maas with 9 and then 3 strikes to follow it up. Crosses over for the 6-10. A lot of crossing over out of Taylor. And then over on 3 and 4, we've got Tony Manna going to creep into your screen here shortly up on lane number 3. He's clean through 4 frames, yet to strike, looking for his first strike. Sent a messenger at the 10-pin on his last shot on lane 4. Let's see what happens. Looks inside to me.
Good shot.
Holds flush.
Yeah. End result was great.
And Brent Ritchie, your 7th seed, will be stepping up on 4, and he's looking for his first double. Almost a chop there, but Taylor fortunate to get the spare. Just quite a grind out here. Chad Maas has an opportunity to really step on the pedal here. Extend the lead. Well, he found a double now. Brent Ritchie finds himself a double on 3 and 4. Tony Manna finds his first strike. It takes him a little bit of time to find a strike. You know, they had a little bit of a break in the action.
Yeah, but it wasn't too long.
No, they had to wait on us, but they did throw a few shots over
Yeah.
there.
There's a flush strike.
Chad Maas,
On
out of
5
these
and
4
6.
players, is probably the guy with the most experience. He bowled on the tour for a while. He and Chad Kloss are known as the Chad Wreckers. Chad Kloss bowled this event, but he's nursing an injury, still coming back from injury. Didn't bowl as well as he liked. He was a little frustrated. Now it's going to make the match even closer on 3 and 4. Makeable spare, though. Just got to make it. 3-6-10 is no gimme on a flat pattern.
Another flush strike. Wow. Wow.
He would have liked to have had that. That would have
Yeah.
put that match well in hand. Still has a nice lead.
Ritchie.
That's exactly how you
covers
want to
the
convert
spare.
that spare.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you want to go about it. You want to go hard and straight. You don't want to give away your angles. So now Ritchie has 104 in the 5th with a spare up in the 6th. Tony Manna can get to 107 in the 5th if he can double. Take a lead in the match. Big shot here for Tony Manna. Now keep in mind, Chad Maas can still bowl 258. 247 max score for his opponent, Steven Taylor. And of course, the veteran that he is, Tony Manna doubles.
Steven Taylor working on 2 spares. Comes in, it looked a little high from my angle, but I'm off to the side, but it was still 10 back. Looks great for Steven Taylor. Steven's got 97 in the 5th.
In the 5th.
With a strike up in the 6th.
Strike up in the 6th.
In the 7th frame currently.
Manna looking for a triple.
Ew.
He slices and dices him. He gets the triple, Matt. Puts some pressure and takes the lead on Brent Ritchie. Steven Taylor now can get a double here, trying to climb back into this match. That's
an
Brooklyn.
all-important double.
I knew it was high.
Oh, but he got a lucky break
Was
kicking
not
that
Brooklyn.
6 out. It's a makeable spare. But he really needed that double to stay in the match.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the 7th and 10th seeds on 3 and 4, and you're watching the 8th and 9th seeds as Brent Ritchie just gets a nice break and strikes. And after this, what's going to happen, the winner of each match is going to flip-flop to the other pair, and they are going to then bowl Tom Hess and Marc Heninger. Your 5th and 6th seeds.
Marc down there getting ready on the practice pair. I saw Tom out there also getting ready. They know what's at stake. $2,800 we're going to pay out to the winner.
And Ritchie just looks like he just kind of missed it at the bottom there. Didn't get around it. It's been a very long, fatiguing day. I think fatigue is starting to set in with these players.
I think so.
Tell you what, I'm really impressed with Chad Maas today. He's sticking every shot at the line, staying down. Great tip for those of you that are watching that want to get better at bowling. Watch Chad Maas at the foul line. From Waukesha, Wisconsin, Chad Maas up in the 8th frame has a real opportunity to really lock in on this match and make things a lot easier for himself. Against Steven Taylor.
Light 7.
And the last time over on that lane, it was a run over the rack 9.
Yeah.
But you know what? This guy's hitting the pocket over and over again.
He's leaving single pin spares that are pickable.
Tony Manna now has a chance to really put a stranglehold in this match, looking for 4 in a row up in the 8th. And he's got it. All he has to do now is just go ahead and set the cruise control on about 45 in the fast lane, and he's going to be able to win and walk on and draw Heninger or Hess.
Who drives 45 in the fast lane?
Revenge of the Nerds, baby. Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, he missed the 7.
Now
what just happened here?
He's hitting the pocket better than any of these guys out here, but his spare shooting right now is atrocious.
What just happened? Well, what
He
is it,
chopped the
166?
off the 6, and then he misses the 7.
So with a strike up in the 8th.
Okay, here we go. We have a max score for
Let's see.
Maas at 226. Taylor can still bowl 227.
Huh.
He just gave his opponent a chance. And Manna just keeps striking over on 3 and 4. That's a 5-bagger for Tony Manna.
You know, there's going to be a really clutch shot for Steven Taylor. He was over here talking to himself. He knows the importance of this match, and that opening he should definitely take advantage of.
It looks a little better. Still checks up on him.
Yeah.
Brent Ritchie here just trying to save face. Crosses over, yeah. He can still bowl 224. Tony Manna can bowl 257.
I like his spare ball, Steven. That's a nice looking spare ball. Oh. Oh.
Now Taylor can only get to 204. Maas is going at a 206 pace. Well, that's going to do it for Brent Ritchie. He's still going to bowl a 200 game, though, which can get him 9th position.
So Tony's going to move on to bowl Marc?
Well, we don't know. Well, yeah, because he's the 10 seed. He will bowl Marc.
So he'll bowl the lower seed.
Still a nice payday for these guys.
Definitely.
9th and 10th position is going to receive $650. 7th and 8th locked you in at $750. So Brent Ritchie, for his $150 entry fee, is going to receive $650. And with that open, it's pretty much safe to say that Steven Taylor also is going to receive $650. And Chad Maas is going to move on to bowl someone that he's bowled against many, many times in the past, Tom Hess, reinvented as King Thess, as we've been naming him this weekend. We know his wife Sue's watching in the chat. 203 is the final score for Brent Ritchie. And Chad Maas continues to shove it into 1-3 and get rewarded. This left lane's the one that's been tricky for him, but guess what? He doesn't have to bowl on this pair again. He's going to go over to 3 and 4.
That's true.
So on 3 and 4, we're going to have Maas against Hess. And on 5 and 6, it's going to be Manna against Heninger coming up here. Well, now Tony Manna, not that he needed it, but he leaves the baby split. We'll see if he can pick it up. Can Maas strike on that lane? He does.
He can.
He can. He can strike on that lane. He's been hitting the pocket. You know, this game could have easily been 250 for Chad.
Yeah.
He'd have picked his spares. Still got 226 left. Steven Taylor has 181 left. So it was Tony Manna 223 defeating Brent Ritchie 203. Again, Ritchie finishes in the 9th and 10th position. Bracket area, they receive $650. Same with Steven Taylor. So for Chad Maas, it is officially 211. Steven Taylor can fill it up for 171. And when we come back, we'll bring you continuous coverage here of the next round, which will be Tom Hess versus Chad Maas on 3 and 4, and on 5 and 6, it'll be Marc Heninger against Tony Manna. We'll be right back here on InsideBowling.com. Stay with us. Okay, everybody, here we go. We are back now. We just saw Tony Manna defeat Brent Ritchie in the prior match, and Chad Maas defeat Steve Taylor. They are now moving on. Maas is going to bowl on 3 and 4 against Marc Heninger. Marc Heninger, your 5th place qualifier coming in. Manna has a tough test, a defending champion, or not defending champion, but a champion of this event. Hess has won this event.
PBA Tour champion.
And the Masters champion, yes. Tom Hess. We're calling him Thess, and they are bowling on lanes 5 and 6. We're happy you're with us today here at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. It's the 5 and 10 seeds versus the 6th and the 8th seeds coming up right here for you in front of you. And as soon as we're done with this, it'll be just down to one pair for the rest of the day. We'll move down to 17 and 18, and then to 15 and 16, then down to 13 and 14, 11 and 12, and then our championship match will happen right here in front of the booth on lanes 9 and 10. Maas gets us started here in the 3-4
nice
match.
Strike.
Well, he's been all over the pocket. The thing with Maas has been that his spare shooting has been not so good. So I think he'll be able to draw the line and do better.
I think he will too, and I want to see how Tony does here on 5 and 6 because everybody went Brooklyn on 5 and 6, but he throws a good shot. He was more left with his feet. It looked like.
Well, he's got a line that the other guys don't. I mean, he is playing extremely deep.
Yeah.
Also, is Heninger as we get a first look at our Marc Heninger from Kansas City. He's not too nice to it at the bottom. He really straps on it.
He sure does.
Now here's Hess from Iowa. He's bowled at GIBAs for a long time. Joe Engelkes and his crew do a great job running these events. Tom Hess, no stranger to a Joe Engelkes ran event. Here comes Hess.
Boy, he's off the left corner. Tripping 4 pins everywhere.
And Hess has been struggling. He hasn't had a good year. He told us that yesterday when he was talking to us in the booth. And he kind of drew the line in game number 6 yesterday. He came up, he was near the booth, he bowled 240, 230, made it into the cut, bowled a big last game, as you mentioned in the last match, Matt.
Yeah.
Has strikes out at 10th frame to get in. And not only get in, but leapfrog and get to 6th
4
position.
places. Yeah, he got to sit down for a little bit.
Sure did. Hess is a member of the Brunswick team, professional staff. He bowls on the PBA Tour all the time. He's bowled 30 out of 34 weekends this year, he said.
Another nice shot.
And with shots like that, you can tell why this guy is a weekend warrior. Now here's Heninger. Much better shot out of Marc Heninger. Still comes in high for the 4-6.
Wow, what a bad break.
I don't know if it's a bad break. He went right through the nose. But well, a lot of times you see guys, break that up and just leave one or the other.
Oh, sure, yeah. At least get the 6 out or something.
Tony Manna to be all square through 2 if he can strike here.
Comes in high.
And we see another
4-6.
4-6.
Wow. Mike, from my angle over here in the booth, Tom Hess's ball, it looks like he's off the left corner. It looks like he's playing the second arrow on the left. And from my angle, it doesn't even look like it's getting right at 20, but it clearly is because he's striking.
We call that the 7th arrow.
The 7th arrow for a right-hander. You're right. Yep.
Chad Maas sees his opponent go spare open. Chad can now double to start the match. And he does. He and Hess have very similar shot shapes right now. I think they might even be using the same exact ball. I'm not sure about that. Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. We're happy you're with us. We've been here all weekend. 180 bowlers shoot up. We are down to, what are we down to now? 6 bowlers?
Not more than that. We've got 4 that are sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, plus we got 4 here, so I guess
that's
it's 8.
Yeah.
We're trying to get down to 6.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. Tony Manna just threw a great shot on lane 5.
And there's a break for Maas right now. He tugged it inside a target. This 1.98 to 1 ratio. It's going to happen. You're going to make some shots that aren't perfect. And he gets away with it. He goes Brooklyn for a triple. How's the chat, Matt? What's going on in the chat? Anything?
Well, if I could get the trackpad to work, I could tell you. Tom Hess puts 10 back again. A lot of football talk.
Well, it is opening weekend here for the NFL.
Yeah, not really too much. Talking about the Bears.
The Bears. I should have that game on down here.
They're enthralled with this exciting bowling, Mike, that they're too busy to chat. I'm sure they all got a full screen on their TVs at home.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do.
No,
They've got their HDMI cables all hooked up.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Tom Hess. Opportunity here. Open with the ham bone.
Can opener.
He does it. Keeping his angles very tight. He's being very nice to it at the bottom. Marc Heninger, very, very high. He 4-6'd on that lane the last time. But, hey, there's a break, and now he's got a double.
Do you think he made an adjustment there?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
You know, and just it still came in high?
I'm sure.
So another adjustment is in order then.
Or a hand position change, or a ball change.
Yeah. I think a ball change would be extreme.
We will wait and see. Manna really grabbed a lot of that one.
It looked left off his hand, too.
So right now, Chad Maas and Tom Hess in control of these two matches. That ball to recover means he's got a little bit of room out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chad was having a hard time picking spares in the last match, and I think he just said, I heard you guys back there. I'm just not going to leave anything.
There you go. It's a good strategy.
I'm just not going to leave anything out there, boys, because right now I don't like my spare game. And Tony Manna, he's taken a minute now. He's been in this position many, many times in the past. And he's going to take his time because he knows that it's not over.
No.
He knows how tough this lane pattern is.
There's still 6 frames to go. That's lots of bowling. Chad crosses over.
Well, he crossed over the last time on that lane, Matt. He was fortunate to get a Brooklyn strike. Now we'll see if he can get back on the spare train here with the 6-pin. Now here's Manna. I told you he took a little extra time. I expect this to hit flush in the 1-3. Whether or not it knocks them all down or not, we wait and we see. He did.
He got him.
Very similar to the shot that you called the can opener by Hess on that lane.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Hess now with 4 in a row to start the game.
Hey, look at that. Hey, Chad Maas got a spare, everybody.
Wow, woo. Wish I had the applause queued up. Tom Hess, though, is going first here on lane 6. He's got the ham bone through 4 frames in the 5th, looking for his 5th in a row. Pure as a winter stream.
Hess rolling and Heninger going Brooklyn. Now that's an opportunity there that Marc really needed to capitalize on. That would have been a triple for Marc, so he needs to spare this. He can have a possible 96 in the 5th if he gets a strike in the 6th. Maas right now 109 in the 4th with a spare up in the 5th. Tom Hess looking for an opening 6-pack. Well, that's inside a target. Okay, just the 6. He's happy with that. He'll take that.
Yeah.
That was definitely inside a target. We've seen other people be inside a target and leave 4 6s. Hess just leaves the 6, and now Heninger back on it. He does have a strike. He's got a little more confidence now. I can tell. I don't think he really liked the shot, but it held pocket and struck. And he knows anything can happen with Maas and his spare shooting today. So a possible 279 for Maas if he were to go off the sheet through 5.
Hess runs down his 6-pin like it wasn't even there.
Possible 246 for Heninger if he were to go sheet.
There's a good shot for Chad.
Manna can still get to 248 if he were to throw the last 7 to go with the one he's already got up in the 5th. So that'd be the back 8 for those of you keeping score at home for 248. I don't think you can throw it much better than that, Matt.
No, I really don't either. That was really good shot there.
And the last time he was over on that lane, his release took a little bit longer. He got around the side of it. He was inside a target. Really really tried to hit it for everything it was worth. And on that particular shot, he released it nice and clean, got off his hand good, went right to the spot. And
it was
carried.
like smooth. It was more smooth.
Maas
Chad.
has 6 strikes
Chad
out of
Maas.
7 frames.
Boom. Let's see if Tony can capitalize here and get a turkey. It's not mathematically impossible for him to come back.
That's a triple for Tony Manna. Puts a little pressure on Tom Hess.
Heninger comes in light.
Yeah, he got one wide there, but it almost recovered. We
well,
saw Maas get one out that wide, and it did recover, and it mixed him up.
It almost looked like he double bounced it, too, at the release, at the downswing.
He doesn't look real comfortable out there.
No, he really doesn't.
But Marc's a great bowler. He's a member of the Motive team. He lives in Kansas City, but does a lot of bowling.
He's got some fans in the chat as well. So they're rooting for him. Here's Tom Hess, though. Another can opener. Can he get the 10? No, he cannot.
Okay, well, the more Hess paces with spares, the more Tony Manna's
squeaking back
strike train here at the
yeah.
end could come back to make this a match. So now Hess is, he was in the 270s possible score. Now with the spare, he's going to be, possible 268.
Oh, and he missed. Somebody, did you hear?
I just heard a lot of noise.
yelling.
Somebody was, that would have distracted me.
Wow.
There's a lot of noise coming from this bowling center.
It's a good shot for Heninger.
Yeah, Henninger's over there. He's just going through the motions now, trying to make them show up, keep them honest. Well, we got a match now forming over here.
We sure do. Let's see if that mentally fatigued Tom missing that 10 and see what he does here in the 8th. He's a professional. He knows how to do that.
Hess can still shoot 257, Manna 248. Both players were to strike out.
And the phone rings. Coming in light, tripping the 5-7 out.
Well, Tom deserved that because he had somebody yelling in his backswing,
and
then
the
he had a
phone
very,
ringing.
very loud phone.
Chad, he's been making some good shots. And there's another one.
I'm telling you, this guy might win the tournament, man.
It might happen.
This guy might win the tournament.
It might happen.
I don't see anybody with as good a look to the 1-3 and a carry percentage like Chad Maas right now. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Devin Bidwell. I don't care if you're Brett Cooper. I don't care if you're Steve Keeler, Miguel Lopez, because all those guys are coming up next. That's murderer's row. That's who you got to go through. But I think Chad Maas might be able to do it. Now here comes Manna. Oh, big trip of the 4-pin.
Oh, boy.
Little soft. It looked soft off his hand to me.
I can't see the numbers, Mike. What?
248 max score.
Okay.
257 max score.
Oh.
248 for Manna, 257 for Hess. Chad Maas over here in the 9th frame.
Another one.
Yeah, he can still shoot 279. So it's fair to say that Marc Heninger is going to finish in your 7th and your 8th brackets. Receive $750. Which is still a great week, great tournament.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Only one can win. 180 laced him up. Now Manna applies the pressure.
Wow.
He has applied the pressure. He's done
this is a
everything he
match.
can possibly do to get back in this match.
He sure has.
He is not going anywhere.
Nope.
But Hess controls his own destiny.
He does.
Hess can throw
Now this is a big shot.
3 strikes. One here in the 9th.
Yeah.
First 2 in the 10th. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Tony Manna just goes home.
Yeah, but he's got to get this
Anything
first
less, Tony Manna can win the match.
one. Yep. He's got to get this first one. This is an important shot, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Tom Hess. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right through the face for a
Wow.
4-6-10 for Hess.
Wow.
Well, if he gets 2 here,
Yeah, what's the number
puts
say?
him at 195. He can still bowl 225. Oh, my gosh.
Oh.
Wow. He gave that a run.
Wow.
Tom wants this. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone throw a bowling ball harder.
I missed it too.
At the.
I didn't see it.
At the 4-6-10. Now he's going to clear his deadwood. It's probably good for him. It's probably good. Gives him a chance to calm down. And Heninger and Maas are just trying to get out of the way.
And Tony Manna now is walking down to the parking lot, it seems. He's taking a walk. He knows what's at stake here. He knows what just happened.
He might be eyeing up the next pair.
No, he definitely passed the next pair. He's down behind 25-6. Now he gets up on the concourse. And it looks like he's going to refill his water bottle is what he's doing. He's refilling his water bottle.
He doesn't even want to watch.
Yeah, he's taking his time. He's trying to stay focused.
So it was 201 for Marc Heninger, and on this 1.98 to 1 oil pattern, very, very difficult, very, very low scoring tournament. You know, 201 in a match like this, 201 could be a score that could win very easily, but not today with Chad Maas. Chad Maas is going to be in the 250s.
Coming in high again. I still can't see the numbers, Mike. What has he got, 195 in the 9th? Is that what that says?
Yeah, if he spares this, he's going to shoot 215. And that's just not going to be enough, Matt.
I don't think it is either.
No,
not
it's
with,
not.
With Tony. He's got 5 in a row, and he's hot. He knows what's going on. Wow.
Well, Tom Hess is going to finish in your 7th and 8th position, along with Marc Heninger. They're both going to receive $750, and Tony Manna and Chad Maas are going to advance. And they're going to bowl each other. They're going to bowl each other on 17 and 18.
Chad Maas.
And Tony Manna.
Tony Manna.
Tony Manna is your 10 seed, and he's running him up the ladder here. Keeps cruising along. He can still bowl 248. Still bowl 248. He's just going through the motions now. Crosses over for Brooklyn. So he's going to be in the 240s for sure. When we come back, we're going to have Tony Manna versus Chad Maas down on lane 17 and 18. We'll be right back here at InsideBowling.com. There's the handshake, everybody. Mike Flanagan, Matt Turek here with you at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open here in Waterloo, Iowa. We've been through the 7 through the 10 rounds, Matt Turek. And Tony Manna and Chad Maas have both made it through.
They sure have.
And now they're going to bowl each other.
In exciting fashion, too.
Okay, so Manna starts with a shot through the face for the 6-pin as we get our scoreboard set up. What a great weekend here. 180 bowlers came to the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. And we have 4 great bowlers ahead of these guys left here. This is a 5-person stepladder now is what this has turned into, pretty traditional. But right now you're seeing Chad Maas, who was the 8th seed in the 7 through 10 grouping. And the 5 and the 6 seed just got demolished with Tom Hess and Marc Heninger going home, finishing in the 7th and 8th position. Here's Maas. He's been striking a lot today.
Got some lucky carry there at the end.
Comes in light.
Well, we got a little technical difficulty going on, but we're working it out here as you see him cover his spare. You can see down at the bottom he did cover it. Chad now stepping up here in the 2nd frame.
Back with you here.
Good shape on that ball. Mixes them up. Gets the X on the board. First X of the match.
As I was saying, 180 bowlers took to the lanes. And today, the top third came back to bowl 6 more games.
Just received a personal message here from David Waswo. Says that he really wants the winner of this tournament to be on the bowler show at 5 p.m. Central.
Okay, Dave, we'll work on that for you. Okay, and there's a strike from Manna. So all square through 2. Today, 1-in-3 cash ratio. And speaking of numbers, it was a 1.98 to 1 lane pattern these guys were bowling on. Very, very difficult and demanding. We saw, we
not
talked
only
about
left
it.
to right, but front to back, Mike.
We saw it earlier that the cut score went from 100 to 77 between games 4 and 5 earlier today. So cut score to go backwards 20 pins in a game is very unusual.
Mixing them up, playing that left corner, Mike.
Yeah, and you know what? In the last match, he bowled Tom Hess, Tony Manna I'm talking about. And when he bowled Hess, Hess opened with the first 4, and he looked like it was cruise control.
That was a barn burner.
And Manna came back in that match. And he probably feels like he's free rolling now.
Yeah, that probably really was a boost for his confidence going into this step ladder.
Chad Maas, one thing that I've been talking about is a great lesson for everybody at home is he sticks the shots. See that? Just stays right down through the shot until the ball hits the pins.
Wow.
Whoa, that's a horrible break.
Tough
a 7-10 for Chad Maas. Are you kidding me? Now, you know what? He's been bad at spares today. He has not been a very good spare shooter when it came down to these finals down on 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So it would not surprise me if the spare gods come back right now and we see the 7-10
Well, look what
up.
happened over on 6 when Tom Hess left the 4-6-10. I mean,
he almost
should have picked it.
Hess let out a big roar.
Oh, yeah, that was exciting. See if the pins can bounce around here.
I want to welcome everybody into the chat. Welcome everybody watching today. Certainly appreciate you being part of our broadcast.
Oh, loft.
Wow.
No.
That went down there in 3.4 seconds. So he gets his count. And, you know, it might be Tony Manna's day. Very well could be Tony Manna's day because Tony Manna, he snuck into the top 10. He was the number to get in. And in the prior matches, it took Tony Manna a couple of frames to get going. Now, here in this match, he says, game on, baby, game on. You see the Kingpin Bar and Grill sign.
That place is good.
That is the Bowling Center Bar and Grill.
Push.
Great sponsor of the event. This weekend, they're donating 10% of the prize, I keep saying the prize, to the prize fund of their profits in the Kingpin Bar and Grill. Other great sponsors here. Of course, Fusion Realtors, Community First National Bank, Ebonite, Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau, Budweiser, Logo Infusion, Maple Lanes, and the Members Mortgage Services.
Nice spare conversion on the 9-10 there by Chad as he walks away. We're going to take a look here at Tony Manna.
Don't forget Logo Infusion. You head over to their website, logoinfusion.com. You can save 10% with the code GIBA15 when you enter it in. You can save 10% at Logo Infusion. Tony Manna bowling in the shorts today.
That was a good strike. Good strike.
Manna knows how to strike for sure. We talked about it earlier that Tony Manna has bowled collegiate for many, many years. And when he bowled collegiate, he averaged 260 at one of the tournaments, one in St. Louis called the Match Games.
It's strike and spare.
Manna up in the 5th, looking for the ham bone.
Boy, that ball just didn't recover.
Comes in light 2-4-8-10, I believe. Joining us now is the third member of our broadcast team here today. He's the tournament director, and he's been nice enough to invite us to come back here for, I believe, about our 4th time. And we archive all the footage on our YouTube channel. And none other than the one and only Joe Engelkes joining us now in the booth, tournament director. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing fine. We're winding down again.
We are winding down. We've got cameras moved. We feel like we're in good shape.
Oh, he's going to get it. Oh, man.
Put your daughter to work down there. We're in good shape.
Yeah, you're in good hands if you got her doing it. So.
That's right. Joe, just such a great event. Sold out field again.
Yeah, we were pretty pleased. We had a little bit of rough weather last spring in January when we scheduled, and we had to move from our normal February date. So entries were down a little bit in the January tournament, but picked right back up for this month. So it was a good one.
Another good one in this lane pattern has been a demanding one today.
Very.
You bowled the event yourself. How'd you do?
Well, okay. First 5 games I didn't have a double, but after that I bowled pretty well the last 2.
That's what I thought you might say, and that's what I wanted to stress to the people at home is just how difficult they are.
Yeah, and I think they were actually tougher today. There were not very many people that shot over today. Out of the 60 bowlers, I know there were a few guys that shot a big last game that might have got them a little bit over, but for the most part, I think we counted at one time there were only 19 out of the 60 guys averaging 200 today. So
wow, good shot there.
That was tough.
Chad Maas now has a double. In this match, how would you handicap it, Joe?
Well, Tony's got a lot of experience, and he throws the ball really well. But Chad's got some pretty good leverage with his height, and so as they get deeper into the lane, he's pretty solid too. But it's tough to pick a winner here.
It really is.
They both throw the ball really, really well deep inside.
Whoa, misses the head pin. Matt, who would you pick in this match?
Well, I was going to pick Tony Manna just because he came off that incredible match against Tom Hess. He did just get that one out to the right, or didn't hit it all at the bottom of the swing, and he missed the head pin a little bit. But we'll see if he'll probably convert this, I'm sure, and get back on the strike train. So I'm going to have to go with Tony Manna in this match.
There you have it.
One thing I definitely noticed today, it seemed like the ball would push just a little further in the mid lane before it would pick up. A lot more 210s, 2.810s than we saw yesterday in qualifying.
Yeah.
So Tony Manna can still bowl 245. Chad Maas can bowl 248 through 6 frames. The winner of this match will go on to take on our number 4 seeds, Miguel Lopez, who led most of this tournament.
There's a good shot.
A lot of strikes so far, considering this oil pattern. 200 was a good score. No dress code in your tournaments, Joe? I don't have them in mine.
No, that's. I think that's one of the things that helps us attract some entries too, especially this time of year when it can be kind of warm. We allow them to wear shorts. So basically, what I ask is that you just don't wear jeans with holes in them or
nothing disrespectful or anything.
T-shirts with, inappropriate pictures or sayings. But other than that, I just tell them bowl what you're comfortable bowling in, and we allow them to bowl with their friends in the cross during qualifying if they like. They can ask to be paired with certain bowlers, and I try to accommodate everything I can there. And I think that's something that plays well in these kind of events.
I agree 100%. Maas has an opportunity here to get the ham bone, Matt.
He sure does. That came in high. Looked like he got slow with it.
He didn't like
really
it.
did,
Something was
yeah.
off.
Something was off.
I don't think it got off his hand real clean.
Yeah.
It seemed like he lofted it a little more than he has been. So
He didn't stay down either through it.
Yeah.
When he throws it good, he stays down. It's kind of a telltale sign for Chad.
Yeah, and as tall as he is, if he doesn't stay down, that ball's going to loft.
Now, multi-pin spares were not easy today, and he covers that one no problem, but there were lots and lots of chops going on this weekend, especially on this challenging oil pattern. Spares were important.
Yeah, that 3-6 combination was not easy because if you squared up a little, went a little straighter at it, you get the 3, and if you center right a little bit, you get the 6, or maybe neither one of them.
Right.
That's a lot of balls going in the ditch when you're playing shooting the 3-6 pair.
Can opener, Matt. I like how you used that earlier. That is a can opener right there. Joe, you got a lot of great sponsors. We'll cover a few of them as we go through this wonderful stepladder finals that we have, and we'll start at the bottom. We'll go all the way to our top for the final match. So, you know, it's the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open, of course, but let's talk about Members Mortgage Services. What is it that they do that makes them such a great sponsor?
Well, they're a new sponsor for us this year. They actually sponsored 2 events last March that we held down at Leisure Lanes in the Quad Cities, and they put $500 a piece into each of those 2 tournaments on a weekend. And I got to visiting with the management staff there, Rob Roseman in particular, whose family owns the Leisure Lanes where that tournament was, and they expressed an interest in getting more involved with the entire GIBA schedule. So that's where that kind of started, and we went through a couple of different scenarios, and their final decision became one that they wanted to be involved in the tournaments where we had live stream coverage.
That's great.
Along with a couple of our other high-profile events, as well as the 2 tournaments in March down in Muscatine, which is in their backyard. And Roseman family owns that bowling center, Rose Bowl now. So
great bowling family, and we've got ourselves a match here.
Yes, we do.
225 max score for Chad Maas, and Tony Manna with the big strike in the ninth can still shoot 245. So Maas, it's important for him to strike out here, shoot 225, and then that would make Tony Manna have to go up and let's see here.
He's going to have to get first one if Chad strikes out.
Yeah, he certainly will. His 9 spare strike would be 224. So it's important to take your time. Make a good shot. We're going to see him stick this shot if he throws a good one.
He stuck it. And it was good.
It was. So one more here. One more, and important to get the full fill. If he gets 9, you know what we have, right, guys?
The possibility of a tie.
There it is.
That's right. We do. That's what we would have.
That's his favorite phrase.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Bo Burton, one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Right from your hometown.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got to work with Bo Burton once.
Is that right?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
Got to stream for 2 days with him at Bowl Expo a couple years ago. It was a real treat.
Excellent.
I got an email he wrote me, printed out on my wall right next to my desk. It's very complimentary. It made me feel like $1 million.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be in attendance when he was inducted in the was at that time the ABC Hall of Fame, that induction ceremony, and he got
didn't stick it.
Oh, what a break. Crosses over for a strike.
Oh, my.
Crosses over for a strike. Now, if he gets them all here, Manna's going to have to throw a strike.
Yeah.
And Manna's been interesting to watch. I don't know Tony Manna very well. I just know of the legend of Tony Manna. And he likes to walk around and do things. When Hess let out that big roar earlier in the other match,
all the way down to the snag bar.
All the way.
Yeah. Tony doesn't say much, but he lets his ball do the talking.
Sure does.
Yeah, he's been around a long time and played a number of our events. He doesn't make it over here a lot, but he's fairly close down there in Omaha.
So he does get them all. So if you're Tony Manna and you're sitting there and you see your player go flush, Brooklyn, then flush, is it in your head at all, Matt?
Yeah.
It's in your head?
Well, if I was him, and I watched it, and he went Brooklyn, and he carried it, got lucky, and now that really adds
to
the.
1.
I mean, it adds the pressure, definitely.
1.98 to 1 oil
So,
pattern.
It's going to be a challenge.
Joe, would it be in your head?
No, not really. I think Tony's only thinking about one thing, making the best shot he can make, because it's all over if he strikes.
That's right.
You know, so he's focused on that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Needs a strike for the match.
Yeah.
Anything less than 10, he loses. He's got the strike, guys.
is.
He's got the strike and a little fist pump. Finally, we see some emotion out of Manna.
That's about it. Right
That
there.
is about it.
That's about it. But I tell you what, he's pretty clutch.
What a great shot. What an unbelievable shot. He needed it right there.
Yeah, I think Tony's got enough experience. He's been in that situation enough times that you can't let what your opponent just did get into your head, because if you do, you won't make your best shot.
Right.
Comes
But,
in light there, but he doesn't need
yeah,
it. Let's go ahead and
didn't
take a
matter.
look at that shot again.
You
One
bet.
more time. That winning shot right here is the replay.
Yeah,
10
that
back,
was-
and there's the pump right there.
That was super. That was super. What a shot.
Good work, Matt, on the replay, and it looks like Tony Manna is going to continue to creep up this step ladder. The 10 seed continues to impress. He is going to move up now to bowl none other than Miguel Lopez. Miguel Lopez has been bowling very well in this event. He's led most of it. He's fallen down to the 4 seed, and now he's going to bowl against Tony Manna. Coming up here live on InsideBowling.com. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. Mike Flanagan here with Matt Turek and Joe Engelkes here. Guys, it was a nice opening match that we just saw, and now Tony Manna continues to roll as the 10 seed from Omaha, Nebraska, and now he's going to take on Miguel Lopez from Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, it's got a push.
Ooh.
Crosses over. Almost got the lucky break, left at 10.
Yep.
Uncharacteristic of Tony Manna to go Brooklyn, but you can tell he didn't like the shot.
Yeah, I noticed he was having a little trouble getting the ball to read and pick up on that lane and shadow ball, so I think he helped out a little bit.
Remember, this is a new pair, and
Right.
I know all the lanes look the same as you're looking at it on your screen, but this is a new pair. We're moving one pair closer to the desk after every single game. So new pair for Tony, no advantage. It's something that Joe does here, and I think it's a good rule. I think it's a good way, a good format. Gives the guys a fresh new pair every time, and doesn't let a guy get lined in on a TV championship pair. So bravo to you, Joe.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important to give the guys that are the higher seeds every opportunity, and if you have them come into somebody that's just hit a pair and bowl the big game, it can be a little devastating to that higher seed. Ooh,
10 back.
beauty.
Miguel
back.
Lopez, hello everyone.
I think he is locked in on this pair from what I saw in shadow ball.
We've got the youngster against the crafty veteran here. We hope you're enjoying today's coverage of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. Another one of your sponsors here. Let's talk a little bit about after this shot here. We're gonna soft and serve it up for Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau here in just a moment after we see Miguel up in the second frame looking for an opening double.
That one went long.
Comes in light for a 2-pin, and I mentioned yesterday during qualifying that during the championship matches I would expect to see a lot of 2-pins.
Right.
And here is one, which makes me seem a little bit like I know what I'm doing once in a while. But anyway, Joe, let's talk about this Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau. They've been with you for a long time. Tell everybody a little bit about them.
Well, it's an organization that promotes tourism to Waterloo, and basically looking for events that are maybe not your run-of-the-mill. We don't have a huge convention center here in Waterloo, so
Oh, he flagged
my
it.
goodness.
Misses the 2-pin.
Yes. So originally, they were looking to help promote a high-level bowling tournament where we could bring bowlers in from larger than our normal 50 to 100 mile radius that we draw for the Greater Iowa, and they were able to throw some money at that and let us just take charge and decide how we were going to make it happen. Basically, they were originally the biggest portion of money behind the tournament, and through the years that support has dropped off a little bit because we're no longer a new event, but they still like the prestige and the goodwill that we build by bringing these guys from so many different states around the area into Waterloo, and it's still a big deal to them, so I hope that they would continue on as a sponsor going forward.
Well, we've been checking out their website, Matt, especially, and they've got a lot of cool things that they do. And there was something that you said that they did, Matt, with video.
Yeah, it looked like that they take they do little like YouTube web sessions where they go around to all these different local businesses and venues around town and do kind of like a review show with it. And it was really cool. I didn't have a chance to watch any of them, but I did notice there was 20+ episodes.
Right.
I'm going to have to actually check that out when I get some free time.
Yeah, they support a lot of different events. We have the state darts tournament is in town, comes to the convention center, and we've had the state pool tournament in town, and they like to be involved in events where you have multiple participants and the opportunity to bring a lot of people into town. So that's kind of their mission statement, if that's what you want to call it, is to bring out-of-town people into Waterloo for nice, prestigious events.
So Manna having some carry issues now, but I predict we'll be clean through 3 frames. Lopez,
It was a really good shot for Tony. He wrapped the 10 pretty hard.
He did.
Lopez with that mental mistake in the second, leaving the 2-pin and missing it. This is. Oh, I almost did it, guys. I almost did it.
Almost the broadcaster's jinx right there.
Well, I've been doing it all weekend.
Yeah.
No reason to stop now here as we get to the finals.
No wonder I couldn't get a double. Jeez.
That's right. Miguel, Lopez, 3rd frame.
Ooh, there's another wrap 10. Man.
Tough pair, 15 and 16. I'm sure you've got all the stats, right? Joe, you can tell us what the players average on this pair compared to all the other pairs.
Oh, absolutely, if you gave me a couple hours.
This looks like a tricky one, though. This could be a 204 to 198 match or something like that here on this pair.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I bowled right next to Matt McNeil yesterday. I've never seen anybody wrap so many 7-pins on hits that didn't look like they would do it. And there were guys on the right side doing the same thing. I think that's what we're seeing here on this pair.
I'll tell you what I like about Miguel Lopez. He's really seemed really cool, calm, and collected as we watched him bowl through this tournament. He did lead for a very long time. I'm sure he's a little bit disappointed that he comes into this match as the 4 seed. Your 3 seed, Steve Keeler, looking on right now. He will be up in the next match to bowl the winner of this one along. And then we'll go to the southpaw, Brett Cooper, who's made it in from Colorado and a lot of different states represented, and Devin Bidwell, of course, your tournament leader. Devin's really bowled well as well. So we'll see them coming up in the upcoming matches. Now here's Miguel in the 4th frame.
Ooh, tripping them all down.
Well, you know what, Matt? When you're playing the lanes properly and you're hitting the 1-3 consistently, every once in a while you're going to get a shot that you grab a little bit and you're hoping you trip out a 4-pin. You're going to get a shot once in a while that you miss a little bit or you get a little firm with, and then you're going to get it a little bit away from the head pin. You get a strike like that, it makes up for those wrap 10s, and it's game on. Gives you a little bit of confidence. Important for Tony Manno now here to step up, make a couple of good shots himself, and now we'll have ourselves a match. Tony looking for his first strike on this pair. We've seen him get a little grabby with it in the past. He's left a 4-6 earlier. Has gone right through the heart of it. But as the classic champion he is, he comes back with a good shot and says, "Oh, Miguel, you found yourself. You got 2 strikes up there. I want to try to match you, get a couple myself." Cruise along here. What about this Kingpin Bar and Grill, Joe?
The Kingpin Bar and Grill actually is pretty new to this center. When the Amy's purchased the center 3 years ago now, I guess it's been. That was one of the first projects, was to redo the whole lounge restaurant area and make it into more of a sports bar look with a reasonably decent menu with better than your normal food that you see in a bowling center. And
solid 8. Can't throw it much better than that, Matt. I know that you had the couple of different offerings here at the Kingpin Bar and Grill.
I did. I had the cheeseburger. I had the fried egg sandwich. I had the waffle fries. Well, what do you call them? The chips.
Right, right.
I had the. I've tried the pizza, which was excellent. I wanted to try the Reuben. I didn't get a chance to, but there's still time left.
Oh yeah.
And what else did I have? I had one other thing. I had the spicy chicken bites.
Ah. Yeah, they did a nice job of putting it together with a variety of food, and they really dressed it up with all the big screen TVs. And there's a pretty good crowd in there getting a little rowdy this afternoon watching the NFL. They've got the NFL Sunday ticket in there, so there's a lot of people in there right now just screaming and hollering.
Yeah.
We had to shut the doors.
Now that's a clean, smooth shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Yep, that's a double. Gives them the lead in the match. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how you score it. Puts them right there.
Right.
About evens it up, really.
The nice part about the Kingpin is I think the last 5 tournaments that have all been here in Maple, they have agreed to donate back 10% of the proceeds from the Saturday sales through the Kingpin and the bar. So we got a nice little check this morning from them for yesterday's proceeds and for added prize money. So that helps.
Good question in the chat. Where's Lopez from?
He bowled for Wichita,
Wichita.
so I think he still lives there. I think he recently got his PBA card, and he's been bowling Southwest Region tournaments, doing real well. Tough spare here.
Yeah, we were talking about that last match.
Oh.
And that's exactly why it's tough.
So that's 2 missed makeables for Lopez now in this match. When you bowl against somebody like Tony Manna, you just can't do that. No matter how good you're throwing it, if he makes those 2 spares, Manna's up against the ropes. But now, Manna can get up there and keep just filling frames.
And it definitely helps free up the arm swing a little bit for the guy that doesn't have those opens.
Lopez is on a 183 pace.
Yeah, it was way better than that solid 8 shot.
That's right. Hits him thin. Watch him spin.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked, Joe, if Tony Manna wins the tournament?
I would not. He's got the moxie and the experience to do it. Plus, he's been there and done that. I was just sitting there thinking this kind of deja vu all over from our last tournament where Brad Miller ran all the way from the 10 seed up to the final match.
That was cool to watch.
It's doable, obviously.
And we thought Brad Miller was going to actually maybe possibly do that again today.
Yeah, we really did.
He was in 10th position moving into that last game.
Yeah.
He only missed cut. He missed cut by less than 10, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more pins you can throw at the 7-pin than Manna just did.
That was crazy.
But you look at Manna, he's bowling a 9-pin no-tap perfect game right now. He's got 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, strike, 9 spare, strike, 9, and hopefully a spare.
Mm-hmm. He's just keeping it in play, and eventually he'll probably catch a double or triple, and look what happens.
His max score is 228.
Wow.
Lopez can bowl 223.
This is a big shot for Miguel. He's going to have to start right now if he's going to catch up.
Yeah, and I do believe if Miguel can advance and get through this match, that'll give him a little bit of confidence under his belt. And he could be tough coming down the stretch here, going up against, don't forget, coming up, it's going to be Steve Keeler in the next match from Kansas City, Brett Cooper from Colorado, and Devin Bidwell from the Wichita area.
Oh, he got away. Oh. Wow, that came back a long way.
Sure did. But he's been slow hooking the whole lane
Yes,
from the beginning of the tournament. That's what he's been doing the whole time.
Well, and he struggled today in the second round, and I think it was because of the extra little push that was out there. Of the bowlers that are left here, he definitely had the lower total today, but I think they're starting to open up a little bit closer to what he had yesterday, so he could be pretty tough if he can get by this match. That's a great
that
shot.
Looked good.
Great shot.
That looked good.
All right, so Lopez does exactly what he needs to do. Says, I am not messing around. Strikes in the 7th and the 8th. Gives him an opportunity here. Tony Manna goes up in the 8th and the 9th. If he throws 2 strikes, Miguel Lopez will not be able to strike strike out and win. But he can strike out and force Manna then to strike out on top of it. It all starts right here in the 8th frame. Tony Manna working on the right lane, looking for his 3rd strike of the match.
Good shot.
Woo. That was clean.
That was really clean off his hand. I knew that was well thrown.
Okay, 8th frame, gets a strike. If he can get the 1 in the 9th here, he controls his own destiny. Anything less, Miguel Lopez can go up in the 10th frame, 9th and 10th frame, strike out, and beat Tony Manna.
Yeah, this is a big key shot. He's got the other lane pretty well locked in, and he hasn't struck yet on this one. So he's going to have to come up with something right now.
Stay down through it.
Great shot.
That's a crafty veteran coming through in a big way in the 9th frame. Miguel Lopez throws a double at Tony Manna, and here comes Tony Manna with a double of his own to answer. So now, Lopez, here's the situation. Lopez can go up. He makes a good shot here. He gets a strike. That'd be a triple. Go into the 10th frame. He can strike out. I'd give him a 223 total. Manna would have to go up in the 10th frame, throw a double, and get 6 pins, and Manna would win. It all starts here in the 9th frame. Miguel Lopez from Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, great shot.
Joe, that looks like you're out there bowling.
Yeah,
Look at him just puring those shots.
Yeah, in my dreams.
Matt, I asked you a question yesterday. Who would you want to have throw the ball for your life? And I gave you 3 options. What do you think about this kid right here? Would you let him throw a ball for your life?
That's pretty good, man. Yeah, I guess I would.
Okay, well, we're going to do that a little bit later. We're going to set up an apparatus down there, and we're going to make sure he throws a strike. Otherwise, it was nice knowing you, buddy. I'll have a little more leg room in the car on the way home.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we're back to bowling, 10th frame. Here we go. Miguel Lopez, left lane. Needs a double here to put the pressure on Manna. Here's the first one.
Oh,
crosses over.
my.
We saw that in the last match against Manna.
You suppose Tony's feeling a little hot under the collar yet?
Boy, I would. I would. These guys are throwing Brooklyns at him in a 10th frame.
2 matches in a row.
To force him to throw strikes.
That's crazy.
Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. That makes Tony get the first one.
It sure does.
Wow.
Wow, here we go. Here we go. Can Tony Manna, the man of the nerves of steel, can he continue to do this? I don't know. We're going to wait and see. Here we go. Quote, unquote, the 11th frame right here. Second shot in the 10th. Miguel Lopez.
Well, that was a little better.
Yeah, it was good. There's
He
another
knew
strike
it,
right
too.
there. Well, that's what happens. You capitalize on a break, Matt. You capitalize on a break.
That's what I said last game or 2 games ago.
Well, it doesn't matter what he does. He can't lock Tony out. That's the one thing.
No, he can't. Scoreboard tells a story, and we see these guys we thought was a tough pair early on, and now look what happens back half of the game. They figure it out. That's why they're so good. That's why they're here. That's why they are down to the final 5 bowlers out of a field of 180 is some of the best in the Midwest. Miguel Lopez, congratulations for striking out in that match. Way to capitalize on that first shot in the 10th. It was an errant shot, got away with it. Now Tony Manna has to go up in the 10th frame. And last game, guys, he had to throw 1 strike to advance. This game, Matt Turek, 2 strikes to advance.
That's right.
Does he do it?
I think he is.
You think he is?
I think he is
It's
gonna
called
do it.
right here. Matt Turek has called it.
It's going to start right here.
Pretty good off his hand.
Manna gets the
He
first
stuck
one.
it, and
This
that was
guy,
good.
this guy has got nerves of steel. Nothing phases him. Nothing phases him. He has been here so many times over the years. Mega Buck tournaments. And it all started when he was a collegiate bowler. College bowling, he learned how to throw it for the marbles, throw it for the wheat, as a lot of the Wichita guys would say. Not to do that to Miguel Lopez right now. He's from Wichita, but Tony Manna might throw it for the wheat here against the wheat shocker. Here we go.
Pretty good off his hand. No,
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, it was
didn't
light.
catch it.
Well, the Russian has
run.
been cut. Ivan Drago has been cut. He has been knocked down by Rocky Balboa. Tony Manna is going to finish here in what I would call the 4th position. Tony Manna finishes 4th. What a
Fifth.
great run to go from 10th to 4th.
Position.
5th? Is it 5th?
5th.
Miguel Lopez was 4th.
This
So
is the 4th and 5th place
three,
match.
4. Yeah, you're right. 5th position. This format is so long.
I think there's
5th position. Thank you, Joe. That's why we put you in the booth. And we got a ball return to boot.
Oh, boy.
So Tony Manna is going to finish in 5th position, and I do have a prize list here. He's going to receive $1,100 for his efforts on a $150 entry fee. That's a great return, Matt, on his investment.
That's an ROI I would like to have.
So the next match is going to be for fourth place. Whoever loses the next match will finish in 4th and receive $1,250. 3rd place, $1,600. 2nd place, $2,100. And 1st place, $2,800 to the champion. Coming up next, it's going to be Miguel Lopez versus Stephen Keeler from Kansas City area. I think he might be from Shawnee. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out in the next match. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be right back with our next match. Steve Keeler up against Miguel Lopez. They're going to move a pair to the left at 13 and 14. Here we are at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. It is now our first look at Steve Keeler from Shawnee, Kansas, taking on Miguel Lopez. Keeler starts with a strike. He's been watching. He's been sitting cold. He's had a chance to go throw a few shots down the practice pair on 1 and 2. Brett Cooper, our number 2 seed, is now down there. Joe Engelkes, Matt Turek joining me here back in the booth. And Matt, this should be a pretty good match here between
Yes, it will be.
Stephen and Miguel. Stephen a little more straight up the lane and Miguel looping it a little bit more. Joe, your expertise, you've been running these events for a long time. You've seen these guys come through. Who wins this match?
Oh, boy. Actually, I think Miguel's college background with Wichita State, and I know he's been bowling a lot and has done well in a few tournaments here recently. I think the shot's coming to him. I guess I would feel like maybe he's got a little advantage here.
Tries to get the shaker off the wall there, leaves a 7-pin, another good shot for him. I will counter your opening statement here by saying that Steve Keeler bowled 4 years in college at Central Missouri State several years ago, a long time ago. And he doesn't get an opportunity to really compete in a whole lot of singles events. He's a great team player. He's always been a guy who's been bowling in the 2-hole over the years and things like that. And coming out here in singles competition, I know he's going to keep his angles a little bit straighter, a little bit tighter. On a 1.98 to 1 ratio, I'm going to take Steve Keeler in this match, Joe.
Okay. We'll see.
Plus, I grew up in the same town as him. So that's really what I was just masking right there, right, Matt?
Yeah. The other piece of that is I know Steve had a very good day today.
He did.
In comparison, he threw a lot of good shots.
Lopez went backwards.
Right.
And Steve Keeler moved up the leaderboard. Matt, you would pull for Steve Keeler in this case as well, right? Being from St. Louis?
Yeah.
We
talked for that reason.
We talked about it on the way over today about St. Louisans, and that's one great thing I can say about Matt. He's loyal to St. Louis.
But I like the way Miguel's look is right now.
Yeah, plus he'd throw it for your life. You said that in the last match.
Right, yeah. So I'm going to have to pick Miguel.
Oh, 2 against 1. You guys are doubling me.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
I like it. I like it.
Well,
who do you guys like in the chat? Thanks for watching, everybody. What a great event we've had here, and we just keep cruising along here. We got more matches to go. I mean, we just got a slew of them still. We still got Brett Cooper coming up. We got Devin Bidwell coming up. But right now it's Steve Keeler, Miguel Lopez. Steve Keeler trying to get it going with an opening double on the right lane.
Oh, almost 4-9. That's a well-thrown ball. They are on the easiest pair in the house. After all, this is one I shot 240 on yesterday. It had to be easy.
Well, I think this is the pair that you walled up for yourself.
That's pretty much it.
They've been oiled since then, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Tournament director.
Yeah, that's true.
Covers it up. Matt, when you go to this wide look right here, there you go, perfect, on cue. Look at this. Look at those, what do you see in the background there, Matt? What are those?
Those are glass fronts to pinball machines, old school pinball machines that the proprietor here purchased off of eBay. I was actually talking to the manager here about them. They're new since the last time we've been here, and I think they're really, really cool. But I'm a fan of pinball.
So Keeler, after making a great shot on 13 to open the match, comes in a little bit high, very easy to do. I predict Steve will pick this up, go straight at it. 3-6-10, you definitely don't want to hook at it. You want to go hard and straight at this spare on this flat oil pattern.
This is a hard spare.
Yes, it is.
Covers it no problem, though.
You've been affiliated with Budweiser in this tournament too, haven't you, Joe?
Yeah, Budweiser's been on board ever since the start of these tournaments. Actually, Budweiser had been a sponsor for the Greater Iowa Bowling Association way back into, I believe, when I started as full-time administrator for the tournaments back in 1998. They were one of the first sponsors that came on board, and they basically have sponsored the tournaments we have here in Waterloo every year since then. So one of our better, real solid sponsors. They also do some printing of our schedules to post on the bulletin boards in the various bowling centers around the area too.
Lopez is settling in quite nicely here into our broadcast. Just got through tough competitor and Tony Manna, who's just been as tough as nails today. 3 versus the 4 seed. It's interesting how most of the times it plays out this way. You know, we had the 10 seed climb, and now we're down to the 3 and the 4 and so on. You know, the top 4, they had automatic berths into this deal, and now they're the only ones that are left. So they've earned it to get here.
It's a tough climb to make it through those first 3 elimination matches and get here, and then you're going to take on the guys that bowl the best for the 2 days. So it's not easy to make that climb.
You see just off to the right, there's Devin Bidwell, our tournament leader, with the hoodie on. These guys have a long time to wait before they get to throw it for all the wheat.
Yeah.
Now, Steve Keeler, he is clean through 3 frames. Miguel Lopez going at a Dutch pace. Keeler can go up and double here. Take a slight lead in the match.
That's a better shot.
Liked it. You know, something I liked about Steve too is he's been a cool, calm, and collected guy. You know, we saw Hess earlier. Both are kind of built the same way, and Hess is more animated and more rambunctious, more like a bull, and Steve's more like a teddy bear.
That's a good observation.
I appreciate that, Joe. Once in a while, I do deliver something to the broadcast. Matt, would you throw at the 2-4, hooking at it, hard and straight? How would you go about that?
On this shot, hard and straight.
Would you stand to the right, stand in the middle, stand to the left?
Stand in the middle, not all the way to the right. Aim at the, well, I don't know.
I'm kind of odd.
I wouldn't go straight at it. I would go at a little bit of a left angle at it. But I wouldn't be all the way to the right.
That's the way I shoot it. I threw straight at every spare, and I spared very well. On this tournament, I'd have been 200 under.
Well, and Keeler does do exactly what you just said, Matt.
Very
right
good.
After it.
Yep.
The Rams beat the Seahawks, guys.
Yeah, when I was writing Tony's checkout, I saw on the TV that the Seahawks tried an onside kick and didn't get it, so I assumed that was probably going to be the end of that game.
Opening week in the NFL here. Couldn't help myself. Oh!
It didn't go.
Double tap, and it still didn't fall.
Anybody's match.
Yeah.
Anybody's match. That's how they've gone. Start out slow on a new pair. Lots of strikes at the end.
Yeah, Miguel changed balls on that lane. He's actually throwing a different ball on each lane.
So through 5 frames, if Miguel Lopez keeps this up, he's going to earn himself a patch and bowl a 200 game. That's called a Dutch 200. And Steve Keeler, unless Steve Keeler can find a double, and if Miguel keeps going spare strike and he likes this left lane so much, Steve Keeler is not going to win this match. But there's a lot of match left. I'm sure that pace will not continue as Miguel gets up on a lane he's perfect on.
Yeah, you got the free arm swing going on that lane. Feels comfortable there, obviously.
Now, keep in mind, Steve Keeler had lane choice, and Miguel's going to finish on the lane he's been perfect on.
Yes.
Now watching Keeler bowl too, you see he stops right before his last step. It's like a plant stop. Take a look at that shot one more time. You can see how he plants, kind of stops.
It's like a shuffle.
He liked that shot too.
He sure did. Here he's up now, throwing it to spare. All right, so Keeler is having a grand old time on what we call 13 and 14, 2 strikes. A little bit of variety here. But remember, angle's a little bit tighter. Usually prevails on a tight pattern. Got real quiet in here too.
Yeah, it's almost dead silent.
The bowlers keep getting closer and closer to us.
Yeah.
Might have to adjust the soundboard.
You're loud enough.
Great shot.
And Keeler mixes them up.
Great shot.
He mixes them up. He throws a good one. Another good shot. Steve's just happy to have his 3rd opportunity at a double in the match. Neither player has doubled. I'm going to make a prediction right now, you guys. The first player to double in the match wins.
I'll agree with that.
Lopez can do it right here.
I'm taking odds. It's happening right here. I'll call it. Oh, I messed that up bad.
Yeah, you did. You're the new Black Cloud, Joey.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so here we go. He's got to slide it over. He's got to slide it over. He's going to hit the left side of the head pin. He's going to slide it over, slide the head pin into the 10. And once again, he cannot strike on the right lane.
Well, I was a bit surprised because he almost 4-9 on that lane last time, so I figured he'd make just a little adjustment and it'd be flush, but he got her wide. No recovery. That's got it. Oh, man.
That reminds me of what happened just a week ago on the Women's U.S. Open show. Shannon O'Keefe needed to convert that in the 10th frame and wrapped it right around there.
Can you guys tell what Lopez is throwing? It looks like he just made another. He's going to make a change here.
It's a solid black ball.
It might be a game breaker 2, maybe.
It looks more black to me.
Or maybe bad intentions.
Could be a bad intentions. Or a legend.
Yeah, it could be. I just can't see any logo on it.
Now that's as good as you can throw it, and he loves the left lane. He actually is going to put in the box, the suggestion box, to not use 14 next year. Yeah, not use the right lanes at all. Joe, just mark that one down. But as we mentioned, the first person to double we believe is going to win the match. Miguel Lopez went up and he opened and in struck on his perfect lane. Now here's Steve Keeler. He has a strike working in the 7th, has an opportunity to go up and get the first double in the match and take control of the match. Steve Keeler, 8th frame, right lane.
Same shot as last time.
You really can't throw it much better than that.
He liked that one really well, too. You could tell by his reaction.
There's nothing wrong with that shot, Steve. Great job. Great job. Bad news for you, Steve, is you have to finish on that lane. Steve's an excellent spare shooter.
Cover that perfectly.
Covers it up. It flirted with the gutter. I'll tell you that. I was worried for a minute from this angle, but we have an odd angle at lane 14 over here in the booth. Joe Engelkes, Mike Flanagan, and Matt Turek here. And Matt, what a great job you've been doing. You've learned this Wirecast that we have, and it's been pretty cool.
I like it a lot.
Hanging out here. Yeah, we've got our scoreboard. We've got Jennifer down there, your daughter, helping out, putting in the scores. And your family helps you run these events, Joe. Quickly, could you tell us a little bit about how much that means to you?
Sure. Thanks a lot. No, it's been a family affair for me since I think my daughter started helping running scores when she was like 10. So she's been a part of this from the time she was, heck, when she first started going to the bowling alley, she was like 2 months old, 3 months old, and she'd fall asleep in the back. I'd take her to league, and she'd fall asleep on the settee area while I'm bowling. And then she started helping out with the tournaments, and she really learned the ins and outs and the nuts and bolts of the whole system. And she really knows it well. And my wife is a great backup for her. And they run scores about as fast and as well as anybody I've ever seen. So it's a big deal to me.
Well, they're great people, and that's why we keep coming back here. Now, Lopez up in the 9th frame has an opportunity to shut out Steve Keeler.
Ooh, that one took off on him.
Nobody's going to double this game.
Lopez needed, no, I think, you know what, Matt? I think you're right. I think you're right.
It might not happen.
That's a great observation. I think you're 100% right on that.
And they're both striking on the left.
Yep. Keeler does have the one strike on the right lane. Just one. One strike on the right lane the whole match. And Keeler's got to finish on it. Lopez covers it up. So let's take a look at the max scores now. Miguel Lopez can go up and strike out for 198. That would force Steve Keeler to get the first hit in the 10th frame.
Right.
If Lopez fills 20, he'd be at 188. Steve Keeler would just need a mark.
Right.
So a double to force Keeler to strike. There's the first one.
He's pretty confident. Wow.
Yeah.
They've all been 5 flush ones on it.
Take another look real quickly at that. Confident strike.
Can't throw it any better than that.
No.
Okay, this is it. This is force Keeler to throw the first one in the 10th.
Nope. 4-pin.
4-pin.
Okay, Keeler must mark, which is no gimme. It's no gimme in this tournament. Okay, Miguel Lopez finishes with 188. Steve Keeler with a strike working in the 9th. Is going to need a mark. So what do you do here, Matt?
You strike.
If you need a mark, you do anything crazy? You throw in?
Yeah, you strike. You throw it perfect and you strike.
I like it. Can Steve Keeler
go for the gusto.
deliver the first strike on the right lane?
You can see the focus in his eyes.
Winner of this match gets Brent Cooper, the southpaw, in the next match.
Oh, there
and he gets a strike. That's the first strike on the right lane, folks. And Steve Keeler is going to advance to bowl Brett Cooper.
Dead flush.
And that's going to end the tournament for Miguel Lopez. Miguel Lopez finishes in what position, Joe? Fourth position and receives $1,250 for his efforts.
It's another look at the winning strike of the match.
Steve Keeler goes up there, sticks the shot, stays down. Good result. Yeah, Steve Keeler's going to...
Boy, he's locked in now.
Yeah. Turned you into a liar now, no double.
No.
That's right. Well, now Steve Keeler says, let's stay on this pair, everybody.
I got this right lane.
I got it figured out now. Mark me down for a little winner again, guys.
Nice call.
Yeah, thank you. I also had that call with Tony Oliva. So here we go. Steve Keeler filling it up. Miguel Lopez, nice tournament, sir, from Wichita, Kansas. Have a safe trip home. When we come back, we got 2 more matches coming up. We've got the 2-seed Brett Cooper up next, and the 1-seed Devin Bidwell in the championship match. We're going to see who's going to get there. Is it going to be Keeler or is it going to be Cooper? We'll find out when we come back. Back with you with the 2nd seed Brett Cooper, the southpaw from Denver, Colorado. Brett's got a very simple game, a nice style. Comes in a little bit high, leaves the 4-7 to start.
Was a little bit of a tug. You could kind of see it.
I'll tell you what, I like Brett's jersey. It pays homage to Denver, Colorado, and also to the Denver Broncos. He's a huge Denver fan. And, of course, Brett is a sales manager for Storm Bowling Products. And he covers it up nicely. Brett had a really nice run at the PBA Summer Swing in the very first event. He made a run at making a show. Brett's one of those guys that's just out there. He's always trying to bowl, always trying to battle, always trying to do his thing. And he does a nice job of it. And Keeler comes in high for the 6-10. As I was saying, Brett Cooper, a sales manager for Storm Products and an avid bowler, tries to get out and bowl as much as he can. It's not always easy to do when he works so much. Also involved with Dexter Bowling Shoes. He's married to bowling, and Brett has done a great job over the years. And Keeler covers up the spare. We're working on that camera right now. That's why you didn't see it. It's back up and running. And we apologize for that. But both players clean through the first frame. Both players basically making the same identical shot on each side of the lane. We got the southpaw versus the right-hander in Cooper and Keeler. Joe Engelkes joins us back. Matt Turek. Guys, not much bowling left. This match here, and then our championship match coming up with Devin Bidwell to be featured.
Great shot.
Solid. Oh.
Joe being pulled away from the booth. Everybody likes to say goodbye. You say hello, I say goodbye. Hello, hello. Brett Cooper has a methodical pre-shot routine.
That was 10 back right there.
10 back for Brett Cooper. A tie match through 2 frames. Imagine that. It seems like that happens every single match for us. I believe Matt McNeil is the only lefty to have won a Fusion Realtor sponsored tournament.
Could we have another one, though, today?
We very well could be. Brett Cooper, he's quite a talent.
He had a big day today, moving up the standings. That's a good shot, too.
Saws the rack. I'm going to go ahead and take a look on our event information tab. I'm going to go down and look at all squad standings. Brett Cooper.
Another look at that rack saw, as Mike put it.
Brett Cooper coming in today was in +11th position coming into today at +78 through qualifying. Now here's Steve Keeler up on the right lane, looking to make the match all square. Crosses over, but he will take it. He will take it. We've seen a couple of crossovers today. Not a lot, but a few.
And as the weekend has shown, with the exception of one time, this 11 and 12 pair is starting out easy compared to the other pairs. Of course, none of these pairs in the house are easy with this lane pattern, but scores have always been higher on 11 and 12 this weekend.
The 7 and the 10 fall late at the same exact time. It was synchronized pin falling.
Yeah, watch the 7 and 10 here.
Let's take a look at that again. Notice the 7 and the 10 fall simultaneously to the left.
That's awesome.
Now, Joe Engelkes, tell us a little bit about Logo Infusion. Logo Infusion's involved with this event. They have a special coupon code. You can save 10%. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Yeah, this is really the first event that Logo Infusion has been involved with Greater Iowa Bowling Association, and I had some back and forth email contacts with Brandon Allred at Logo Infusion, and they made the decision that they wanted to give it a one-time shot here to see how the sponsorship goes. And they gave us a coupon code, GIBA15, which gives any bowler that, or actually it would move beyond that. Anybody that uses that code, doesn't have to be a bowler, it could be a golfer or somebody else that's looking for a jersey. But anybody that uses that code gets a 10% discount during the month of September on their entire order. And they're going to measure the success of their sponsorship based on what kind of usage of that code is done. I did talk to a couple of individuals that already use the code, and another one today who's going to order a couple jerseys. And I know my son and I are going to order jerseys for our doubles event at Nationals this year. They do some great products. They really have some fantastic color schemes that they can do. The jerseys are really, really nice.
Yep, we're sporting them here up in the booth right now. InsideBowling.com, also sponsored by Logo Infusion, and we appreciate that. You can also see right there on your screen that backdrop was made by Logo Infusion. Cooper
flat
back-to-back 7 pins.
Flat 7, sorry.
That's
Corner.
okay. Your monitor's, you know, backwards.
Yeah, it makes it really hard for me.
It sure does. You know, Matt's got to look at the pins backwards, and then he has to turn them around with
Yep.
what he's looking at.
And only mistaking it once for the whole weekend. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I will say that. Cooper just keeps staying right around the pocket. You know, I talked about in the last match, I thought Keeler would win because he's a little bit straighter, keeps his angles in check. But you know what? I think Cooper almost does a better job of it.
Yeah, he's playing a shot in an area of the lane that you didn't even see the left-handers. Most of them couldn't play there.
No, and I talked to another really good, high-touted lefty, and they said, I don't see anybody making the finals. If they do, I'd be really surprised. So Brett Cooper must have really been able to turn it on, play a part of the lane the other lefties didn't. And here he is. You know, he's your 2 seed.
Right.
And that speaks to you, Joe Engelkes. That speaks to you and your tournament and what you do here to make it fair on both sides of the lanes for a left-hander and a right-hander. So bravo to you.
Well, thanks, Mike. You know, that's one of the hardest things is determining a pattern that doesn't really favor any one style or one hand or that type of thing. And it's so tough. You know, sometimes you get lucky like we did this weekend, and I think it was a real good cross-section of players that throw it straighter, players that hook it, lefties, righties. Doesn't seem to matter. If you played well and you executed shots, you could score on this pattern.
And speaking of playing well and executing shots, both players executing shots, you can see why they've rose to the occasion here today. Keeler having a little better carry percentage right now. He's opened up with 8 spare, 4 bagger.
4 bagger.
It's what they call it, a 4 bagger. He bagged him, the 4 bagger. But hey, don't count out Cooper because he's right around the pocket. He's hitting the pocket, keeping the ball in play and doing a great job. Keeler crosses over. And that can very easily happen here on this 1.98 to 1 oil ratio. Very flat pattern. Covers it up.
Yep.
Keeler's a great spare shooter.
Gets them both.
So as our score
Catches up with itself.
updates, there we go. I want to thank our scoreboard operator, Jennifer. A lot of moving parts here in the center. Now Cooper trying to get it on the strike train.
And that was left off his hand, similar to the first shot of the match.
Right off his hand.
Right off his hand. Sorry, the monitor's inverted.
I know. Little right off his hand for the southpaw. Keeps it in play, though. Hey, fortunate not to leave a big split. He's hanging in the match right now, but he's going to have to get his striking shoes on soon. Ooh, covers it up. Barely, almost a chop. So through 6 frames, Keeler can still bowl 268. He's got 128 in the 5th. Brett Cooper has 106 in the 5th with a spare working. It's a 22-pin match. Very easy to figure that out. We saw earlier Tom Hess have control of a match early, and down the stretch, it was very easy for him to get off track. He missed a single pin spare and then a big split. It's important for Brett Cooper to not give up in this match and hit the 1-2 the best he can. A ball change. What a ball change by Cooper right there. He trusted his gut, he knows his bag, and he makes a ball change. Looks like he balled down there from what I could see. He's got Keeler thinking about it a little bit now. Keeler just coming off his worst shot of the match on the left lane. He's got that big 4-bagger. Stuck in between a couple of spares. Let's see what he can do here, working in the 7th.
Almost crossed over.
Well, 2 shots in a row, he hits the left side of the head pin. That's not good for Steve Keeler, especially with Brett Cooper making that ball change. Very important for Keeler to go up and pick the spare. He's been a great spare shooter throughout today's broadcast. Don't expect anything different. He spares this up. That's going to give him a max score of 257. And Brett Cooper can still bowl 246. The match is coming to Cooper.
Covers it nicely.
Steve Keeler is going to be teaching a spare clinic next year on Friday prior to the tournament. That's how good this guy is at spares. Joe, everything going okay with the tournament and everything? I saw you had a little situation on your on your hands. I was wondering what was going on over there. Our soundboard guy just quit.
Yeah, the truck. He must have went to go to the bathroom.
Something like that.
That truck.
Yeah, they're trying to decide they have to address the lanes for their league that's coming in for this evening, and they're going to start down on 27 and work this way. So they asked how many lanes they need to cushion, and I basically told them if they can stay 8 lanes or so away, it should be fine. And by the time they get that far down, we should be done. So
Should be done.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
So Steve Keeler makes an enormously great shot here. We're going to take a look at it again. Keeler sliding almost in the left gutter. Keeps it on line, likes it. Double fist pump.
Little double fist pump.
Double
there.
fist pump.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
He's also going to be teaching lessons on Thursday next year on how to double fist pump.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Cooper looking for a double.
That looked good.
Clean off his hand.
And you know what? Not only did he make a ball change on the left lane, he used the same ball on lane 12, and he trusted it. And that's a huge ball change. That's our move of the match right there, because that's a double for Brett Cooper. Switching balls. The man knows his equipment.
11-pin match, huh?
Yeah, it's getting dicey. Remember, Keeler had lane choice. Elected to have Cooper finish on the right lane. That means Steve Keeler is going to finish the match first.
It's got to hurry.
Oh.
It looked like he just maybe could have missed it a little bit at the bottom. The ball didn't get quite into as good a roll on that one, but still he put it, I'm sure he rolled right over his target.
Yeah, it looked like he threw a little more speed too. I don't think he's quite been that high up the ladder on the readout. That one was gunned.
But he's a good spare shooter as well. Important for him to pick it up. He can still shoot 222, which is a respectable score here in this semifinal match. That's not an easy spare, and he picks it up.
That's for sure.
Okay, like I said, Brett Cooper can still bowl 222. If Steve Keeler goes up and fills out the game and goes spare, strike, he can bowl 227. He's going at a 227 pace. However, with this short or medium oil pattern with 1.98 to 1 ratio, anything can happen. Important for Keeler to keep the ball in play. Well, I don't know if you call that a break or if you call that a little unlucky, because he sent that one a little bit wider, and it wasn't too far away from being a 2-pin or worse. But he does keep it in play and leaves just a 7.
You did see a lot of those actually carry that in this tournament for whatever reason. It seemed like that really light shot liked to mix them around pretty good and strike. Oh, you jinxed him.
Oh, no.
Well,
So much for the spare clinic.
well, here's the thing. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing: the fatigue, the amount of games in this tournament, and the way that you have to stay so in every shot. It's a mental grind. It's a tough grind. This tournament pattern you put out here for every one of your events makes guys earn every frame.
That's absolutely true.
And that's what we just saw there. So now Steve Keeler can strike out in the 10th frame and shut out Brett Cooper. He needs a double in the 10th frame. Anything less, Brett Cooper can step up in the 10th frame and win the match. There's the first one. There's the first one.
That was pure.
Steve's not making things too easy on himself. All he had to do was kind of ride home with the cruise control, I'd say set on about 70 this time.
Right.
Not 45.
But the missed spare. And now, I've always said this, and someone told me this when I was very young. Anytime you throw an open, you got to throw a double to make up for it. And this is what Steve Keeler is about to do. Anything less, Brett Cooper can step up in the 10th frame and advance to the championship match. Inside a target.
Oh, man.
A blower 8-pin. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Joe?
Wow.
Joe, is this pair still going to be in play next year? That's what I want to know. Let's go ahead and let's cue that back up. Let's see how he left the 8-pin. Let's take a look at this.
Wow.
You see Keeler sliding in the left gutters. We've seen all match. It looked a little left to target to me, more online, and just blower 8. Blower 8-pin for Keeler.
Wow.
The good news is he's bowled a good game, but it's still coming back to the 9th frame, guys. He's left an opening. There's a draft open in this building for Brett Cooper. It's important now to pick the spare. Sit down and wait your destiny. Keeler's got it. So 215 for Steve Keeler.
Gotta have the first two.
Gotta have two. As Bo Burton would say, this is what separates the pretenders from the contenders. Cooper up on the right lane. Little right of target.
Right, yeah. Oh, that does it, doesn't it?
And unfortunately for Brett Cooper, that is going to end his tournament. He's going to finish in 3rd position and receive $1,600 for his efforts. Nothing to hang your head about, Brett Cooper. You've bowled a tremendous tournament. You made a nice run today. The highest finishing lefty in the field, all the way in from Denver, Colorado. He supported this event for the last couple of years. He's been up here bowling them over and over again. We've had a sponsor change this year, and Brett still came out to the tournament. Just goes to show what kind of class Brett Cooper has. Congratulations, Brett. But it's going to be Steve Keeler here coming up in the final match. He's going to be taking on Devin Bidwell, and Devin Bidwell has not bowled for a couple of hours. It's going to be interesting to see how this match turns out when we come back here live from Waterloo, Iowa at Maple Lane's InsideBowling.com. Okay, everybody, championship match here at the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. I'm Mike Flanagan, joined by Matt Turek and Joe Engelkes up here in the booth. Championship match, boys.
Oh, 4-9
baby.
trip right out of the gate in the championship match. This is going to be good, isn't it, Mike?
I think it is. And Joe Engelkes, what a great event you've had here. You've had 180 entries, 3 squads of 60 each, a sold-out field, and now we're down to these 2 bowlers.
Yeah, it's been quite a weekend. I'm really tickled with the field, with the scoring level, with the support of all the bowlers that come from so far away, and This is going to be interesting in the final. Devin's really crowding the long ball return and doing the short 3-step approach here. So, oh, that one. Oh, it made it back. Wow.
Devin Bidwell from Wichita, Kansas, has sat for about 2.5 hours now waiting to come into this championship match. Stephen Keeler has won 2 matches. He just defeated Brett Cooper in a very close nail-biter affair. He's earned himself a chance at the title against Mr. Bidwell. Devin Bidwell, Team USA, Wichita State. He is a Motive staffer, and he's also on staff with Logo Infusion. He's wearing a Logo Infusion shirt today. One of our sponsors here, our other associate sponsors, Members Mortgage Services, Maple Lanes, Logo Infusion, as I mentioned, Kingpin Bar and Grill, Budweiser, and the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau. And we have one more to talk about here after this shot.
Ooh,
wrap.
Pretty good 2 opening shots from our tournament leader, Devin Bidwell. Throwing a yellow ball. Hard and straight to spare, picks it up with no problem. The other sponsor we need to mention, Joe, is you made a move this year, and you're affiliated with Ebonite. Tell us a little bit about Ebonite and your involvement with the brand of Ebonite. I believe you're a staffer.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when Rob Gottschall offered me a staff contract with Ebonite. It's something I certainly wasn't expecting or anticipating even, but as part of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association's agreement to take on Ebonite as our bowling equipment sponsor, he did make that offer to me, and so far I've spent a little bit of time trying to learn the new bowling balls that he sent me, and I found a couple pieces I really like, so that's been exciting.
Which ones do you like?
Well, I like the Severe Delirium really well. That ball really makes a clean move through the mid lane, and once it comes off the pattern, it does give me a nice reaction to the pocket, and it seems to go through the pins really well. So, you know, being a lower rev, lower speed player, that's the kind of ball reaction I'm looking for, something I can control without having to try to overthrow it. And that ball's working very well. Game Breaker 2 is the other ball that I really like. That's really kind of going to be my benchmark ball, I'm sure, because of the way it reacts for me.
Well, that's awesome, Joe, and I know that the folks at Ebonite were excited to come on board and be part of this event. We see Steve Keeler, he's perfect through 3 frames. Got himself quite comfortable on this championship pair, lanes 9 and 10. Last time I was here, but not the last time we were here, we saw this particular pair go to extra innings. We saw Troy Fuller against Casey Murphy. It took a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. And I know the last time you were here, Matt, you saw Matt Smith deliver in a big way in the 10th frame.
Yes, he did.
Yep, I sure did.
Bidwell, he's making the pins just pants.
Ball. Wow.
You know, I'm impressed with Devin, and I probably haven't had a chance to watch him bowl as much as I really probably should have. He's bowled the IB Open a couple of years, and you know, he's really come onto his own. And I think he's elevated his game to the next level in the last 12 months.
I believe that. We actually went to the USBC National Tournament and bowled the same weekend as Devin's team for a couple of years, and it was pretty impressive to watch him and the other boys that came from Wichita State put together a team, and they really know how to play on those tougher conditions.
I thought he was going to trip the 4-9.
I thought he did too.
Another good shot, keeping the ball in play, extreme inside angle. He and Keeler are probably just about on top of each other inside there, with Keeler with a little more end-over-end roll and Devin with a little bit more side tilt, a little more axis rotation for Devin, but not much more. Fusion Realtors, Community First National Bank. They are the co-title sponsors. They work hand in hand, as you told us the other night, Joe. They work hand in hand in making people have new homes and be able to get into those new homes. What a great couple of title sponsors we have here on board.
Yeah, both companies are, their affiliation with the Greater Iowa Bowling Association comes through the employees that, one in Zach Bishorner, the owner of Fusion Realtors. He's a scratch bowler and bowls a lot of our tournaments. And the other one's Brandon Steen with Community First National Bank. He's their primary real estate loan officer here in town, and he's also one of the better scratch bowlers in this area and bowls virtually all of our Greater Iowa tournaments. So it was kind of a natural for them, as both companies involved in real estate sales and loan processing, to become part of all this. And it's been a real nice pairing this year, and hopefully it's something we can continue down the road. It sounds good. I know they're already in tune with doing the one in February. They've committed the resources already for that one.
And I know the bowlers really appreciate it. They've talked about it all weekend as they were dining in the Kingpin Bar Grill, drinking a nice cold Budweiser, talking about the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank partnership with this event. So Steve Keeler leaves the 5-pin, and it covers it nicely. You know, I did not have an opportunity to put my finger in the air, which usually means a free drink, but I didn't see Keeler missing a 5-pin, so I didn't think it was necessary. So early on, championship match, we're in the fourth frame, and look, going into the fifth, got a possible 279 for Steve Keeler, and a possible 270 for Devin Bidwell. 260.
Right. Ooh, that was way left to target there.
Yeah, didn't get through it good.
No.
Cut it short.
Tough spare here, boys.
Yep, 3-8. Unusual for a right-hander to leave a 3-8. This is something you would normally see by a left-hander.
Right.
Taking a deep breath. As I've mentioned a little bit, you know, these demanding lane conditions, 1.98 to 1, flat pattern, 41 feet you've designed and put together, Joe, is just something that after a while it just takes a toll on you, and you can mentally break down.
Well, I'm not going to take the design piece of that, you know, credit for that. That's it's something that we're fortunate that Maple Lanes has a real nice relationship with a former Kegel employee who did take care of the technical piece of leveling all the lanes here at Maple, and also does the work with them with designing these patterns for these tournaments. And he's had a ton of experience, and he knows. I ask him, I kind of give him a parameter of what I'm looking for, and then they go out and make it happen.
Bidwell up in the right lane, championship match, fifth frame.
Wow, it's just throwing them around.
Yeah, he likes that lane. We're starting to see what we kind of saw a couple matches ago.
Yeah.
When one of the lanes settles in for a player. We saw Miguel Lopez striking on the left lane earlier in the match against Steve Keeler. And now Bidwell striking on the right lane. And that's the lane that he started on. So he's going to finish on the left lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, he chose to finish on the lane he's not striking on.
He did, but keep in mind,
Yeah.
9
He's
spare.
been close.
Exactly.
Very close.
That's exactly right. Couldn't have said it better myself, Joe. Little distraction. We've got some open play here in the facility. Just time to reset. Just needs to reset. Take his time. We don't have any television time constraints here. No shot clocks. Nothing like that.
No.
He's going to reset, go back through his pre-shot routine. He knows this is a big shot. He knows a double's important. There's a such thing as throwing it for the wheat, and there's throwing a perfect shot, and that was both. That was a great shot on the left lane.
That's a great observation, Mike. You can't throw it any better than that.
You cannot throw it better than that.
Take
Let's
another look at it.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Take a look at this. Boom. No doubt about that. We'll see if Keeler can get back on the strike wagon.
That looks pretty good. Oh, no. All right, all right.
Oh, late on that 10.
Broke up.
It could have gone. Notice the thing, too, that we failed to mention is Keeler's made a ball change in this match. He's gone from the Crux Pearl that he was using, and he's gone into, I believe it's a haywire.
Yes,
I think, bowling ball.
Yes, it is.
He's made a move.
Joe, can you provide the dates for the Winter Fusion Realtors for the folks in the chat?
Yeah, the dates for the February 2016 tournament are February 27th and 28th. It's that weekend. It's the last weekend in February. And just a little aside there, we talked it over with a couple of my key Greater Iowa members, and along with Jeff Riggles, and we discussed the possibility that we may end up using the Flanagan method of the second round. With we're going to have to coin a term for that. But
I like what you're calling it right now,
yeah,
personally.
yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah, I think we're we'll come up with something that's.
So Keeler threw the face here. It seems to have lost his ball reaction a little bit. How about we call it the clown's mouth? That's what you got to putt it through before you turn in your golf ball playing mini golf, and this has turned into a dual athlon up here. A lot of people played mini golf on this particular trip.
Yeah, that's right. They had a big grudge match going on.
They had something going on.
Yeah,
Sure did.
There was, I think, there was even $1 or $2 involved.
Oh, there was a lot of
thing,
dollars involved, from what I understand. I think they're looking for a sponsor, and I think they're going to hit you up for that. So Steve Keeler, as we said, he's only missed one makeable spare. It was the 2-pin when we jinxed him, but so far here in the third match, Keeler just trying to hang on here. Keeler with a possible max score, 243. Bidwell can still shoot 260. So.
And before you folks freak out at home, he's going to clear a deadwood here. Just letting everybody know when you know.
So let's take a look at the way Keeler gets up to clear the deadwood. He just kind of creeps up there, gets down. He still kind of plants, and
he got in there early.
He got that little hesitation step in there.
And he follows through to clear the deadwood. And that's how the pros do it, and that's how we do it here also at the Greater Iowa Bowling Association.
Absolutely.
Hey, and Joe, if they want to find out more about your tournaments, where do they go online?
They go to www.giba-bowling.com.
No, well, that's where I want to go, and that's where I'm going to hang out tonight when I get back.
I think we're going to call this the Flanagan format because it's goofy.
I think that's a good idea, and that's a compliment coming from you, Joe. I'm going to take it and run with it.
All right, I think we're going to coin that term for this
I like that.
second round qualifying.
Here we go, Devin Bidwell. Looking for a triple. Got that one a little wide. Recovers nicely. You know, this guy's got it going on. I mean, this guy, he's got a ball reaction that everybody in the building would kill for. They'd probably pay for it. They'd probably pay double if they could get a ball reaction like that just to enter your tournament.
Let's take a look at it real quick
I
here.
guarantee you. You know, the amazing thing is he's using two different approaches because of the long ball return, and he's still stroking that thing pure on both lanes.
I think there's a song about that.
You think?
I think there is.
Oh.
You have to look it up. I'm not going to say it, Joe. No matter how you try to get me to say it, I'm not going to say it.
All right.
I know what you do to me.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Ooh, he got away.
Yeah, that
Yep.
looked.
That had
Inside
4-9
at the
written
break point.
all over.
I'm going to tell you what I like about that shot, though. He stayed down at the foul line.
Yes,
he
he
delivered the ball with confidence, authority. The
Yeah.
ball just revved up, read the lane a little bit soon, creeped in high. But you know what? When you creep in high and you're throwing it in the right zone, 4-pin standing for you. That's
Yep.
about exactly what he deserved there.
Yep.
If he was a little firm with it, or if he misses a little bit at the bottom, it's probably a strike.
Right.
So now that changes things here a little bit. Devin Bidwell can still bowl 239 if he converts. Steve Keeler can strike out.
Ooh.
243.
Ooh.
That was fading in a hurry.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I thought for a minute he was going to need to pull a little get-back sauce on that, but it didn't. It held in there.
Now, do they have a 24-ounce can of the get back sauce? And can you buy that?
It does not come in a can. It comes in a spray bottle.
Oh, it's a spray bottle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to apply it evenly throughout.
Evenly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
So now Keeler here, he sees Bidwell, his string has ended. Can he go up here and get on the strike wagon? Right lane.
He switched back.
He did switch back. It looks like
shot.
that's the magic ball for Steve Keeler. He's got it back in his hand.
He's in position to lock this thing up if he strikes out now.
He's got the orb that has taken him there, and now he's going to try to solidify himself an opportunity to control his own destiny. If he can strike here in the 9th frame, he'll take a bow and sit down and wait for Devin Bidwell to finish, and he will find out what he needs to do to win the tournament. But he must strike here in the 9th frame to control his own destiny.
Yep, this is a clutch shot for sure. It sure is intense.
Oh, great shot.
Beautiful.
Great shot.
Keeler throws a double when he needs it.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And Bidwell, a great competitor that he is and a fine gentleman that he is, gives Keeler a little high five there for a couple of great shots, acknowledging that.
Another look at that great shot.
When Keeler gets into it, he can get fired up. It's fun to watch. I've always enjoyed watching Keeler bowl over the years. Even back in St. Louis, we come from the same hometown. His brother Mike, also a great bowler, and comes from a great bowling family. His father Dick bowled. One of the nicest guys I ever met. Woo. Devin Bidwell says, you're going to have to do a little bit more than just show up there, Mr. Keeler. I'm going to make you work for it.
Yes, he definitely threw 5 perfect shots on that lane.
What a great championship match. You know, these guys are both striking. They're both making good shots here on our championship pair, lanes 9 and 10. It's the championship pair every year here. Possible 243, possible 239. 4-pin match. Heading into the 10th frame, he couldn't think of a better championship match scenario here. Just a little before 5 p.m. Central Time. Bidwell up on the left lane, first shot in the 10th.
Looks like you moved a little deeper.
Is it going to hook?
Do not.
Not only did it hook, that ball read
Very
the
early.
mids extremely hard. Yeah, absolutely. So he's 4-pinned twice in a row now on the left lane. Spare strike puts him at 219. Which is going to force Steve Keeler, I believe, to go 8 spare strike to win. I believe. 7 spare strike.
7 spare strike. Yeah.
Ooh, nope. Oh, man. Both of those 4 pins were really close.
They were fading in a hurry.
Well, Bidwell wins the clean pot here in the championship match. Keeler as well, going into the 10th. So a well-bowled game here by Devin Bidwell. Was around the pocket the whole game.
Another board left.
That's the right one.
Oh,
That's the sweet
one.
spot. Nice game, Devin Bidwell.
Very
219. Tournament leader comes in after sitting cold 2.5 hours.
So 7 pins was going to do it.
7 spare strike. It's a little more than just 7 pins is going to do it.
Got to have a mark and a good count. Mark.
We saw almost the worst break in bowling on this lane earlier by Keeler.
Pretty close. Oh, it came high. It's going to make it interesting.
It is.
We do have the potential.
Do we?
Oh, we absolutely have the potential of a tie. If he goes 8 spare, 8, we have extra innings, and we have to teach Jennifer how to do the 9th and 10th frame roll-off all over again. Please, guys, don't put me through that. Don't put me through that. I got too much travel ahead of me the next 2 days. That's all right. We'll do it if it happens.
Clutch spare.
Yeah.
And this is really more about the prestige of the title, because $700 separating first and second, because you pay so evenly, Joe. $2,800 for the winner, $2,100 for second place, $700 at stake in this match.
There's a little more than that at stake.
You have the bowl to win pot or bet to win pot.
Steve Keeler is not in.
Oh.
And Devin Bidwell is.
Oh, okay. All right.
And the amount it's showing there somewhere.
Seven something.
700 and some.
$790.
Okay, so what does Steve here?
He needs 9 pins to win.
8 to tie.
8 to tie.
Is it 9 or better?
It is.
It is just enough.
Oh, my goodness.
Congratulations to Steve Keeler.
My goodness.
It took 3 matches to get through. He's climbed the step ladder, and he defeats Devin Bidwell 220 to 219 here to take home the 2015 Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open here from Maple Lanes in Waterloo, Iowa. Let's take a look at the winning shot by Steve Keeler one more time. A little bit high on the head pin.
Yep.
Breaks it up, leaves just the 3 pin. Congratulations to Steve Keeler. When we come right back, I'm going to talk to Steve Keeler. We're going to find out what it means to him to take home this year's title. We'll be right back. All right, here with Steve Keeler and Joe Engelkes. Joe Engelkes, the tournament director, he joined us in the booth. Joe, I'm going to turn the mic over to you to present the check to Steven.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Congratulations, Steve. Great to have you come up from all the way from Kansas to play in our tournament, and we appreciate that, and congratulations again. Thank you very much. All right, great bowling.
Joe, thanks for having us, buddy. All right, I'm here with Steve Keeler. Steve, we've known each other a long time. I've seen you bowl a lot of different tournaments, and I know that this one here with a field of 180 bowlers and really good bowlers and Mr. Bidwell there in the finals, you had to get through 3 really tough competitors. What's it mean to win?
It's amazing. It's the first tournament like this I've ever won, so this is nerve-wracking and just numbing at the moment, honestly. I don't even know where else to go with it. I do want to thank Real Bowlers Tape. There's no way I make releases that good without that feel, and I want to thank Fusion Realtors and all the other sponsors for putting on this tournament. I've been up here every time, and the last 3 times I've come up, I've made money, so I'm going to try to keep it going.
Steve, I know that watching you over your career, I've had a lot of opportunities to watch Steve bowl, and you've always been a great team player. You've bowled in a 2-hole a lot. You've bowled anchor if they needed you. You had a great college career, and you're right. I haven't seen you bowl too many singles tournaments. For you to be able to win this one, does this boost your confidence?
Oh, definitely. This was amazing. I mean, to bowl like this for this entire weekend, I don't even know where to start. I mean, just mind-numbing moves to keeping in the pocket, the right ball changes every time, making spares, keeping the ball around the head pin on this demanding shot. That was just, I mean, hats off to this tournament, and this shot is amazing. I mean, it really pushes you to the limit and makes you really work at it.
I want to talk about your family a little bit. You got Linda here with you, and I know you've got your new twins, and I know this one probably meant something special with the man in your life that taught you how to bowl.
Yes. Nothing will ever beat that. That was an amazing time. My dad did a great job of teaching me spare shooting, teaching me staying close. I wish he could be here to see it. I mean, but it's just been. I wish he was here, but I know watching from above, he really enjoyed this one, and he might have been the one to push the 10 over to leave me just a 3-pin. That's all I can say, because that was nerve-wracking, that last shot. And just, thank you for getting that 10 to fall, because, oh my, that was crazy.
All right, buddy. Well, Steve Keeler, congratulations, man. I've known you a long time from St. Louis. I'm very proud of you, and we always have a great tournament here at the Fusion Realtors. That's going to be it here for the 2015 version here, and we'll be back in February, hopefully, to bring you some more Fusion Realtors First Community Bank National Opens. So for everybody here at Maple Lanes and for the entire crew, Matt, Turek, Joe Engelkes, and the rest of the crew, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on our next broadcast.